Hello my fellow Archons and welcome to another video. Today we will be looking at some of your guys' Mavericks from your own collections. Now before we get into that, however, it has actually been a really long time, far too long in fact, since I've last uploaded. It's been like a month or something, and that's not counting the live stream. That was like 3 weeks ago for the KFPL 5 qualifier event. Either way, it's been a really long time since I've uploaded. So today I'm making my official return. Aembermedes will be uploading. I'm going to be returning to my original official upload schedule. Every Monday and Thursday is when you guys can expect a video from me. Every Monday and Thursday of every week of every month, a new video will be coming out. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. And without further ado, how about we get into some Mavericks? Quite a while ago, I put out a video of my own Maverick collection, all the Mavericks that I have throughout my decks. And at the end of it, I suggested that you guys actually submit and send me some of your favorite Mavericks so that I could take a look at them in a future video. So that is what we're doing today. We are taking a look at your guys' Mavericks. And let's just say that you guys have some really, really cool ones. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so our first Maverick here is actually a Legacy Maverick, and it is absolutely gorgeous. This one is super cool. We have a Fandangle showing up in House Unfathomable. So it's a Dark Tidings deck with a Fandangle in it, which is a Mass Mutation card. Fandangle obviously doesn't show up in Dark Tidings, making it a Legacy Maverick, but I just gotta say, it looks stunning. It is gorgeous. Just the way the Fandangles, the color of like the Dark Ember and everything matches with like the frame of the Unfathomable card, and just the fact that it's a Fandangle in Dark Tidings, that's insane. So obviously it would be really neat with it showing up in Unfathomable. You drop it on an Unfathomable turn when you have 4 more Ember, and then all your other Unfathomable creatures come out ready. It's just a really cool card. I mean, just the combo potential and all the cool things that you'd be able to do with this is very neat. These next ones are a whole lot simpler. I mean, for example, we have right here a Star Alliance Final Analysis. So as if Dark Tidings Star Alliance didn't have enough board control to begin with, this deck also has a Star Alliance Final Analysis. This one has a capture bonus icon, so that's not the most helpful ever, but still pretty neat. It's cool to drop an entire Final Analysis on a Star Alliance turn, and in fact, on a Star Alliance turn, it could be pretty beneficial because Star Alliance has lots of those really powerful value cards that you would like to draw into to continue your turn after dropping the board wipe. So that's a pretty neat one. This is another cool one, a Shadows Commune. Commune is usually in Untamed, but in Shadows, you get to lose all of your Ember and then gain 4. So it's interesting because in Shadows, you would like steal Ember, and then you could lose all that stolen Ember to gain 4. I don't know. It would present some pretty interesting synergies. Maybe it could. I don't know. Commune is just such a weird card to begin with, so I don't know how it would function within the Shadows house. You end your turn when you play it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about this one. You guys will have to let me know down in the comments what sort of cool like synergies or anti-synergies Commune might provide when it shows up in Shadows. Either way, still very neat. This one is really cool as well. We have a Saurian Pismire. Pismire usually belongs to Untamed, just like Commune does. And then this Pismire also happens to be enhanced with a draw icon. But Pismire, again, I just use the same 2 adjectives over and over, cool and neat. I really need to find some synonyms for those words, but it looks really cool in the Saurian house. In Mass Mutation, Saurian doesn't have a whole lot of those mutant creatures. There are more mutant creatures in like the Dis house, Logos, Untamed. They tend to have a lot of Saurian a lot of mutant creatures. Saurian does not have a lot of mutant creatures. So having this extra one, and this pretty valuable one at that, showing up in Saurian, would be pretty helpful, pretty advantageous, I think. All right, now this one is really cool. This is one of my favorite board wipes in the game. This Champions Challenge here usually shows up in Brobnar, but here it is in Untamed. It's not very often that you see like rare cards Maverick. Obviously, it's more common to see common cards Maverick. So getting to see a rare one like this, it's really cool. So here we have like AOA Untamed. Doesn't really have like an absolute ton in terms of like scaling board control. Like it has Save the Pack, but that's kind of finicky. And it might have something else, but having an entire solid board clear in an Age of Ascension Untamed house would be super advantageous. Untamed Champions Challenge, just being able to drop that board wipe in the middle of your turn is quite neat. It also, so this deck also has a Key Charge in it, a Regrowth, a Chota Hazri, so it has some other cool things. It has a Nature's Call, so what you might be able to do is, if you wanted to keep a few of your creatures from getting destroyed, you could Nature's Call them, put them back into your hand, drop the Champions Challenge, and then throw out a few more creatures that you just put back in your hand from Nature's Call back out onto the board. So there's some pretty interesting synergy right there. This is an Untamed Hysteria. So some more mass board control here. Untamed Hysteria. And this person, when they sent me the picture, they also included the Glimmer in it, because the Glimmer actually plays quite an important role in the potency of this Hysteria showing up in a different house. Because they can just keep getting that Hysteria back over and over again, pretty much never allowing you to establish a board. I actually played against this deck online at one point, on the Crucible Online TCO, and what kept happening is I would put out a few creatures, but then they would play the Hysteria, and then put them all back in my hand. The very next turn, I would play out some more creatures, but then he could call Untamed again, throw down the Glimmer, put Hysteria back into their hand, and play it again. So I would never be able to establish any sort of a board. I never had any creatures out there that just kept getting thrown into my hand. And meanwhile, he had like other tools out there that he could use to generate Ember simultaneously. It was a difficult match, to say the least. I can't remember who won it. It was ages ago, but it was just really cool to see that sort of synergy between the Glimmer and the Hysteria and the rest of the deck. So I thought that one was definitely worth showing off in this video. Alright, so next up, let's take a look at this one. It's obviously just pretty simple, but it's a Logos Yantzee Gang. The Logos frame of the card really makes the blues of the Yantzee Gang artwork pop out a whole lot more, and I think that just looks very, very cool. Just one second. I'm going to look up synonyms for cool so I can stop saying cool and neat over and over. Okay, we got a few synonyms here. Fashionable, kicky, snazzy, sharp, hot, trendy, funky, smart. Did I say smart already? All right, well, this Logos Yantzee Gang is looking mighty smart and funky and snazzy. Action stealing. Just a little more Ember control in Logos house, and it's a big old 5-power creature. It's just as simple as that. We have another Legacy Maverick here. This one is a Logos Vigor. Vigor is a Call of the Archons card, and it looks like in this case it's showing up in Age of Ascension in Logos. It looks like the deck has Sanctum Mars and Logos in it, so there's no Untamed. So it's an Untamed card that is showing up in the wrong house in the wrong set. Vigor was really nice in Call of the Archons for some of that burst, because you could get 2 Ember off of playing it under the ideal circumstances. It's kind of neat to see some of that burst though. Now this has to be one of the funniest Mavericks that I have seen, and the person who sent it to me this is one of their favorite Mavericks from what I can tell. So we have here a Logos Hidden Stash. Literally does the exact same thing as the card Labwork. So we just have another archiving card from Shadows showing up in Logos. Just archive a card. Might as well belong in Logos. I mean, it doesn't even really have to be a Maverick. Alright, so next up we have a deck here with 2 Mavericks. Not an Exchange Officer double Maverick, no, just 2 straight up Mavericks. This one, Elbearer, he that consolidates the museum, has an Untamed Skybooster Squadron and a Logos Agent Human. Now this is interesting. The Logos Agent Human, there's no Mars in this deck. So this Reap effect of choose a friendly non-Mars creature and an enemy non-Mars creature, stun the chosen creatures, you will always end up stunning one of your own guys. And then this Untamed Skybooster Squadron, it's just Skybooster Squadron but in Untamed. But this is interesting, is that there is a Dusk Witch. So if your Dusk Witch survives a turn, then very next turn you can call Untamed again, and then Rule of 6 with the Skybooster Squadron instantly. And that's crazy. I mean, because the Skybooster Squadron will enter play ready, you reap with it to put it back in your hand, and then you just do that 6 times. Or 3 times, I suppose, because you'd play, that'd be 1, reap, that'd be 2. So you get to do it a few times at least, and generate some Ember that way. So that's very cool. The Untamed Skybooster Squadron with the Dusk Witch. Alright, now this next one looks really cool. We have a Dis Font of the Eye. And let me just say, with that Dis card frame, the artwork of Font of the Eye just looks so stellar. I mean, the Font of the Eye artwork in this Dis frame is just so gorgeous, so beautiful. Just so insane looking. Now, obviously, functionally, it would be the exact same as if it showed up in Sanctum like it's supposed to, but just the fact that it's showing up in Dis is very, very neat. Alright, now this person here, Kelly Unekis, I sure hope I'm not butchering the pronunciation of your name. This person sent me an absolute ton of Mavericks. I personally am jealous. I wish I had a Maverick collection this large. A Brobnar Mab the Mad. Reap, shuffle Mab the Mad into your deck. A little more of that, Brobnar might be moving a little bit quicker with that Ember generation, with a Mab the Mad in it, than it usually would. Being able to get an Ember when you play the creature, shuffle it back into your deck, play it out again on a Brobnar turn. Obviously, it's not fighting like Brobnar usually likes to do, or as it should like to do, but it's still cool. Get that little extra Ember bonus in there. just this tiny little fairy showing up in the Brobnar house. We have another Dis Maverick, a Dis Anomaly Exploiter, action destroy damaged creature. Dis enjoys damaging things, so with an Anomaly Exploiter in Dis, you might be able to pull off that action ability a little more consistently than usual. We got a whole bunch of more Mavericks here. I'm just gonna go with some of the ones that look coolest to me. For example, a Mars Gateway to Dis. Now I need to look up synonyms for weird. Unnatural, strange, abnormal, unusual. Eldritch, I've never seen that word before. Surreal, uncanny. I think these are all adjectives that very much suit this Mars Gateway to Dis. Just drop an entire board clear in the middle of your Mars turn. That is wild. This is another really cool Mars Maverick, and a Mars Exhume. Obviously, once again, it's just doing what it usually does, just like it would in Dis, but just the fact that it shows up in Exhume like this and looks so mystifying, freaky, and rum. Apparently, rum is a synonym for weird. This is a very rum-looking card right here, a Mars Exhume. All right, let's move on to the next one. Now this one I just want to point out because it looks really cool. A Logos Venator Altum, like the blues and like the sort of aquamarines of the water, just sort of blending in nicely with the blues of the Logos card. I think this one looks very cool. Also, you don't really usually get to see really huge Logos creatures. I think the biggest Logos creature is like 6 power. So then having a 7 power 2 armor Logos creature in your deck, that would be something. Galeotops here in Star Alliance looks absolutely insane. Like the sand and everything looks great with Star Alliance. But yeah, the biggest Star Alliance creature is Antony at 6 power as of Dark Tidings. So now having something twice that power, a 12 power Star Alliance creature, that's wild. Now, Zach Armstrong from Call of Discovery would probably love this Maverick. We have a Shadows Tesmal, locking people out of their houses in a Shadows turn rather than a Dis turn. I think it's pretty cool as well. Now this is an instance where the artwork looks kind of just weird and just kind of off with the Shadows frame. But either way, I mean, just having that sort of reap ability in Shadows is pretty nice, pretty wild. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, I will be returning to my old upload schedule every Monday, and every Thursday I'll be uploading a new video, so be sure to be on the lookout for those. I will be going to the KeyForge Celebration 2022 in November in Minneapolis. So you guys can definitely expect a whole ton of content to be coming from that. I cannot wait for that event. I'll be pumping out videos, like vlogs about the event and how it went down. And we're going to be getting to play with Winds of Exchange decks. That's just crazy insane. Like in less than in just a couple weeks, we're going to get to play with WoE decks. And I cannot wait. But that'll be the end of this video. Thank you all so much again for watching, and I can't wait to see you all again in the next one. See you later.